Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, musician and music teacher living in Seattle. Last week we did a video on Friday Night Funkin' Silly Billy. It was a good time, and I'm like so removed. Like I'm not a rhythm game person, so it was a lot of fun. There's so many suggestions for other songs to do, so we'll do like 3 of them in this video. We're gonna change one thing though. Like normally, like my style of YouTube for this is like surface level musical analysis because we get down in the weeds, a lot of stopping, a lot of going back and talking about like compositional aspects. I got the vibe that the rhythm game crowd is not really into that as much. So we'll tone that down quite a bit. We'll get more real estate this way. We'll listen to more songs and appreciate what's going on. And yeah, I just have like a lot of questions about this, so I'm just going to ask you as it goes on. Okay, I'm excited. Let's go. All right, this is Friday Night Funkin' Mario's Madness version 2 Overdue. I don't know what version 1 is, but this was commented quite a bit, so we're going to do this one. I like the feel. Your voice. That short staccato manipulations sounds good in this element. Yeah, that's the question. Okay. Comedy aside, one thing that was just like pointed out to me, I like read the comment like 20 minutes ago, and I just feel dumb for not putting it together. I didn't realize the colors of the arrows are like your rhythmic indicators. Like there's a color for quarter notes, color for eighth notes, color for 16th notes. That makes a lot more sense on why the rhythms are certain like specific groupings, and we're not kind of like stepping outside of that. Just another notation system. Like notation guides are cool, and it's kind of fascinating because it's like very modern, right? Like the only place you see this is in rhythm games. I'm obviously like, you know, I'm super versed in like reading like action notation, but it's fascinating to be like, oh, this is cool. This is a system that other folks are into. As far as these two sounds, a dude with the Uzi is just hilarious. Like it's such like a frog in the throat type sound. I obviously prefer the left-hand side, but this is fun to listen to. Dig it up, dig it up. Oh shit, we're going. He's shooting at him. Big, wide open chords. That part feels similar, but it makes sense though. That's wild, man. Like just looking at this move by, because this on this listen, instead of like trying to like be like, oh, what are, you know, what's happening with the tones and the chords we're going, I'm now a lot more interested in looking at like the length of notes provided by how long the backside of the arrow is versus what colors they are. That to me, any kind of notation system, kind of what we just said a second ago, is a lot more interesting than just the face value. Anything that goes into the creation process and getting someone to execute that creation process, that is significantly, to me, more interesting than the actual product itself. It makes more sense to watch. Jesus Christ, the teeth. Ew. Fucking eyeball in the back. I love the tone of that snare drum in the background. I can see why this is probably super fun to play. All right, brings me to my next question. And I was thinking this the first time on the first video we did. Those of you that play these games, how many of you are an actual musician in real life? And like, what do you play? Do you play percussion? Do you play strings, winds? Are you a vocalist? Do you like dabble in composition? Do you make beats? Like, what is your, like, I would assume most people that play this probably have some interest outside of just the game. And also I want to know, for those of you, like there was a lot of comments where like that part you thought was hard was actually so easy. And I'm like, that's interesting. So how much time investment did it take you? What's the requirement for you to get to that skill level? And final question, do you find that putting the focus and the hours into this is that more rewarding to you than just picking up an actual instrument and learning that? Or do you do both? So lots of questions from me to you. Oh, this is cool. I like the vibrato it creates on those long notes. Ba-ba-ba-da. Some nice variety in the way they're using the open chords behind it, because there's only so much you can do, right? So son of a bitch. All right, so we're amping it up now. Oh, that's significantly more complicated than the beginning. See, the part that's crazy to me is like that entrance right there was, you know, you're not getting bar lines. If you don't read actual music, bar lines is basically what you just separate your notation system with, and whatever time signature you're in indicates how many beats you have in a bar. Kind of like super organized for like, you know, a visual reader. To me, this is interesting because I'm like looking at player on the right and or whoever's on what side. But the point being, as something's flying up on the other side, that starts before the downbeat of the bar. It's like, how do you know when that is? Because it's super like, I mean, obviously people are nailing the shit, but to someone like me that needs to know this information, I'm like, how do you figure that part out? Cha, 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 cha. Oh, the string violin part in the background is cool. All right, we got some comedy in this one. Okay, that was pretty good. Let's check out some other ones. All right, so for the next one, there were quite a few suggestions for the corruption mod. So I just typed in FNF corruption mod, and like a shit ton of results came back, all pretty much different. And, you know, I don't know what I'm looking at, so I was like, okay. The title on this one was hilarious. Friday Night Funkin' mod, Evil Boyfriend versus Corrupt Daddy Dearest. So that's what we're picking. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
This one's way louder. Ooh, nice tone on bass. Chord progression on the keys is cool. The vibrato on these long notes. That's funny. Cool melody. I like this one. Ba-ba-ba-ba-weedy. What a different... Immediately, this one feels so different than the last one we listened to. I dig the duet factor of like harmony versus blatantly clear melody, like those differences. And although the tone of the bass in the beginning, I was hoping that would stay. We kind of moved now towards more of a house groove, but you know, that's cool. I will forever be amused by the vibrato sound. Bro's voice. What's the deal with Uzis? This part's cool. Oh, I like bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. That's cool. I feel like this one has more variety within like the rhythm section sound. Like if we were to rewind, this is 127. Listen to that sound we just had. If we went back.
3, 2, 1, go.
And like just peep on this for a second. What a different experience with what we just had. So I appreciate the variety. All right, dumb question for you. I'm assuming you're just controlling rhythms, right? You have no Because some of these like pitches with the way the vibrato happens and the way the pitches dip a little bit, I assume the player has nothing to do with that. That's the game engine's just going to control all that. Okay. How the fuck did you do that? Drum part was cool. How are you supposed to read that when there's so much shit on the other side of the screen? That's too confusing. That's cool. Oh, hold on. That whole section had some nice. I like the little bend notes, the little blue notes there. This one is like super interesting to me. They're all interesting in different ways. I guess this one is kind of like sticking out to me a little more just because of the way it sounds and the variety that we're getting between the two characters here. I will ask that question again though, like how if it's a one player thing and you're playing versus the AI, if I'm understanding that correctly, how are you not distracted when the other side, like, why is it that you need to see the other side's commands for that? Or are you controlling both? Or no, you couldn't be because they're both at the same time. I don't know. Again, sorry, I'm just super dumb to this. Those harmonies are cool. Little push to halftime groove there. The backing tracks are pretty fun too with what you're, playing on top of. Nice call and response material there. Oh, that was cool. I feel like another part of the art that's cool on the composition side that you have to give credit to is the folks that are behind the scenes making this. Like the game, the idea of like a controller involved rhythm game, that's cool. Like I can see why that is attractive to a lot of people, but you got to give like massive pat on the back to the folks that make the music that like thinking, okay, what's like the, the purpose of this game? You need to make stuff that sounds good too. Like I would never have the brain space to be, I'm such like focused in one direction with music and the type of stuff that I write for like bands, like marching band type stuff, pep band arrangements, that kind of stuff, drumline settings. I would never have the mind, like, it's so different. Like the ensemble is so different because this is its own thing. And you might be like, well, yeah, that's like, obviously it is. But I'm always approaching my brain space is from like the creative side of like, what do you have to do to write something like this that's going to work? Because you can have 1,000 music ideas, but they need to be, accessible enough to be challenging for a rhythm game, but also make musical sense without going too far one direction or the other. So I think that's interesting. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, for the last one, someone recommended Among Us, so we're going to do that. Friday Night Funkin' versus Impostor version 4 mod. So again, remind me, I can't remember if someone answered this question in the first video, but for like, when every modded game, I think of like community created content. So are folks like doing this, like making the music and adding in their own like sides of the game and like releasing it and the community's playing it? Or is this like a dev thing? So anyway, let me know, please, and thank you. Double the melody, cool, I like it. Bring in our bass. Oh, nice harmony there for a second. Get a little heavier. Oh, I like that his commands aren't on the screen. Jesus. that's where this one is starting out. It feels like way more complicated than the other stuff. But what I was talking about earlier is like, it'd be cooler if the AI side isn't on the screen, and that feels like what this one is. So this is more clean to me. Christ. God damn. That was cool. Okay. The duet here is nice. There's just no way, man. There's so many colors to look at. So much stuff is flying down. But I do dig the ba-da-da-da, the main element, what's going on underneath it musically. It's just so distracting with how much stuff is coming down. I imagine it gets way more complicated. What is the most, like if we were to look at like the most top 5. Oh, this is cool. Bro's got a knife. Sus. That feels so percussive. Like that's like an ultra, like super drum like pizzicato, like violin sound. I dig this. This is very cool. Christ. I would have an easier time trying to fat finger that out versus like playing the little harmonies of hitting down both keys at once. Okay, bro, calm down. There's like the space between notes is so small. Jesus. All right, well, there it is. That was a lot of fun. My name is DrumRollTony. Catch me when I'm live on Twitch. Link for all the socials down in the video description below. So what else should we be looking at? Like, what is the most ridiculous, give me the top 5, like, ultimate display of rhythm game skills. I want to see folks doing that. And is there any live videos of that? I want to see that as well. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. YouTube thinks you want to watch one of these 2 videos next. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.